Hello everyone, we are from the Faculty of Business Economics Pamulang University Management Study Program. Would like to complete an English course assignment with the theme of the Indonesian Archipelago. Our members consist of Nabila, Yolanda, Nafika, Fakhri, and Rama. So, let's start with an explanation of the Indonesian Archipelago. My name is Nabila. Allow me to explain about identification. The Republic of Indonesia, the world's fourth most populous nation, has 203 million people living on nearly 1,000 permanently settled islands, some 200 to 300 ethnic groups with their own language and dialects range in population from the Javanese about 70 million and Sundanese about 30 million on Java, to peoples numbering in the thousands on remote islands. The nature of Indonesian national culture is somewhat analogous to that of Indian multicultural, rooted in older societies and interethnic relations, and developed in 20th century nationalist struggles against European imperialists that nonetheless forget the nation and many of its institutions. The national culture is most easily observed in cities, but aspects of it now reach into the countryside as well. Indonesia borders are those of the Netherlands, East Indies, which was fully formed at the beginning of the 20th century, though Dutch imperialists began early in the 17th century. Indonesian culture has historical roots, institutions, customs, values, and beliefs that many of its people share, but it is also a work in progress that is undergoing particular strategies at the beginning of the 21st century. The name Indonesia, meaning Indian Islands, was coined by an Englishman J.R. Logan in Malaya in 1850, derived from the Greek Indos and Nesus. It has parallels in Melanesia, Black Islands, Micronesia, Small Islands, and Polynesia, Many Islands. A German geographer, Adolf Bastian, used it in the title of his book Indonesian in 1884, and in 1928 nationalists adopt it as the name of their hoped for nation.
Hello everyone, my name is Rama. Allow me to continue an explanation about identification. Most islands are multi-ethnic, with large and small groups forming geographical enclaves. Some within such enclaves include the dominant ethnic group and some member of immigrant group. Large cities may consist of many ethnic groups. Some cities have a dominant majority. Regions such as Sumatra or South Sulawesi have developed over centuries through the interaction of geography, such as river, ports, plain, and mountains. Historical interaction of people and political administrative place. Some, such as North Sumatra, South Sulawesi, and East Java, are ethnically mixed to varying degrees. Others, such as West Sumatra, Bali, and Aceh, are more homogeneous. Some regions, such as South Sumatra, South Kalimantan, and South Sulawesi, share a long-term Malayo-Muslim coastal influence that gives them similar cultural features, from art and dress to political and class stratification to religions. Upland or upriver, peoples in these regions have different social, cultural, and religious orientations, but might feel themselves or be prefers a part of that region. Many such regions have become government province, as are the latter three above. Others, such as Bali, have not.
My name is Yudha Fakhri Bagus Hanafi. Allow me to explain about location and geography. Indonesia, the world's largest archipelago nation, is located as straight the equator in the humid tropic and excited zone, 2,300 miles. 3,700 kilometers. It weighs about the same as the contiguous United States. It is surrounded by seas and straits except where it shares an island border with Malaysia and Brunei on Borneo, Kalimantan, with Papua New Guinea on New Guinea, and with Timor Sea on Timor. With Malaysia lies across the straits of Malacca. The Philippines lies to the north, and Australia lies to the south. The archipelago's location has played a profound role in economic, political, cultural, and religious development there. For more than 2,000 years, trading space side between the great civilization of India and China. Via the waters and islands of the Indies. The island also supplies space and forest product to the there. The alternating is and was monsoon with Made the Indies, a live point for trade and order from defense. Nations were bold their legend. Idea about political order and their art and religious. Small and then large kingdom grew a result of, and as part of that great trade. Steamship altered some the partners, but the region's strategic location between Asia and South Asia and the Middle East remains. Indonesia consists of all or part of some of the world. Largest island Sumatra, Java, most of Kalimantan, Borneo, Sulawesi, Celebes, Halmahera, and the west half of New Guinea, Papua, and numerous smaller islands, of which Bali, just east of Java, is best known. These islands plus some other have mentioned peaks of 9,000 feet, 2,700 or more, and there are some 400 volcanoes, of which 100 are active. Between 1973 and 1990. For example, three were 29 recorded eruptions, some with tragic consequences. Volcanic lava and ash contribute to the rich soil of upland Sumatra and all of Java and Bali, which have nurtured rice cultivation for several thousand years.
Hello everyone, my name is Yolanda Crista Angtolis. Allow me to continue an explanation about location and geography. The inner island of Java, Madura, and Bali make up the geographical and population center of the archipelago. Java, one of the world's most densely settled places, with 2,108 people per square mile, or 8,014 per square kilometer in 1990. Occupies 78% of the nation's land area but accounts for about 60% of Indonesia's population. The outer island, which from an northwest, north, and east of the inner ones, have about 90% of the land area of the country but only 42% of the population. The cultures of the inner island are more homogeneous with only 4 major cultural groups: the Sundanese in West Java, the Javanese in Central and East Java, the Madurese on Madura and East Java, and the Balinese on Bali. The outer island have hundreds of ethno-linguistic groups. Forests of the inner island, once plentiful, are now largely gone. Kalimantan, West Papua, and Sumatra still have rich jungle, though these are threatened by population expansion and exploitation by loggers for domestic timber use and export. Land beneath the jungles is not fertile. Some eastern islands, such as Sulawesi and the Lesser Sundas, the island chain east of Bali, also have lost forests. Two types of agriculture are predominant in Indonesia: permanent irrigate, rice farming, and rotating Sweden or slash and burn, farming of rice, corn, and other crops. The former dominates Java, Bali, and the highlands all along the western coast of Sumatra. The latter is found in other parts Sumatra and other outer island, but not exclusively so. Fixed rain-fed fields of rice are prominent in Sulawesi and some other places. Many areas are rich in vegetable, tropical fruits, sago, and other cultivated or forest crops, and commercial plantation of coffee, tea, tobacco, coconut, and sugar are found in both inner and outer island. Plantation ground products such as rubber, palm oil, and sisal are prominent in Sumatra, while coffee, sugar, and tea are prominent in Java. Spices such as cloves, nutmeg, and pepper are grown mainly in the outer islands, especially to east, Maluku. Formerly, the Moluccas gained its appellation, the Spice Island, from the importance to trade in this item. Gold, tin, and nickel are mined in Sumatra, Bangka, Kalimantan, Sulawesi, and Papua for domestic and international market. And oil and liquefied natural gas, especially from Sumatra, are important export. Numerous rivers flowing from mountainous or jungle interiors to coastal plains and port have traded from, and forest product for centuries and have been channel for cultural communication. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Nafika Riyanti. Allow me to explain about symbolism. The national motto, Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, is an old Javanese expression usually translated as unity in diversity. The nation's official ideology, formulated by President Sukarno in 1945, is the Pancasila or Five Principles. Believe in one supreme God, just and civilized humanitarianism, Indonesian utility, popular sovereignty, governed by wise policies, arrived at through deliberation and representation and social justice for all the nation people. Indonesia was defined from the beginning as the inheritor of the Netherlands East Indies. Through West Papua remained under the Dutch until 1962, Indonesia conducted a successful international campaign to secure it. Indonesia's occupation of the former Portuguese East Timor in 1975 never recognized by the United Nations. Conflicted with these founding notions of the nations, after 2 decades of bitter struggle there, Indonesia withdrew. Since 1950, the national anthem and other songs have been sung by children throughout the country to begin the school day, by civil servants at flag-raising ceremonies, over the radio to begin and close broadcasting. In cinema and on television, and at National Day celebration, radio and television, government owned and controlled for much of the second half of the 20th century, produced nationalizing program as diverse as Indonesian language lesson, regional and ethnic dance and song, and plays on national themes, officially recognized national heroes from diverse regions are honored in school texts and biographies and with statues for their struggle against the Dutch. Some region monumentally local heroes of their own.
Now I can explain about linguistic affiliations. Nearly all Indonesia's 300 to 400 languages are subgroups of the Austronesian family that extend from Malaysia through the Philippines, north to several hill peoples of Vietnam and Taiwan, and to Polynesia, including Haiwan and Maori of New Zealand peoples. Indonesia's languages are not mutually intelligible, though some subgroups are more similar than others, as Europe's Romance languages are closer to each other than to Germanic ones, though both are of the Indo-European family. Some language subgroups have subgroups also not mutually intelligible, and many have a local dialect. 2 languages, one in North Halmahera, one in West Timor, are non-Austronesian and, like Basque in Europe, are not related to other known languages. Also, the very numerous languages of Papua are non-Austronesian. Most people's first language is a local one in 1923. However, the Malay language, now known as Bahasa Malaya in Malaysia, where it is the official language, was adopted as the national language at a Congress of Indonesian nationalists Though only a small minority living in Sumatra alone, the stretch of Malacca spoke it as their native language. Nevertheless, it makes sense for two reasons. First, Malay had long been a commercial and governmental lingua franca that bound diverse people. Ethnically diverse traders and local peoples used Malay in both and hinterlands in its grammatically simplified form known as Market Malay Colonial. Governments in British Malaya and the Netherlands Indies use High Malaya in official document and negotiations, and Christian missionaries first translate the Bible into that language. Second, nationalists from various parts of the archipelago saw the value a national language not associated with the large group, the Javanese. Bahasa Indonesia is now the language of government, school, court, print and electric media, literary arts and movie, and interethnic communication. It is increasingly important for young people and has a youth slang in homes. A native language of the family is often spoken, with Indonesian used outside the home in multi-ethnic area. In more monolingual areas of Java, Javanese also serve outside the home. Native language are not used for instruction beyond the third grade in some rural areas. Native language literatures are no longer found as they were in colonial times. Many people lament the weakening of native language, which are rich linked to indigenous culture, and fear their loss to modernization. But little is done to maintain them. The old and small generation of well-educated Indonesians who spoke Dutch is passing away. Dutch is now known by most young and middle-aged people, including students and teachers of history who cannot read much of documentary history of the archipelago. English is the official second language taught in school and universities with varying degrees of success.